money matters, how much it's gonna cost, how to find it, to have accessible transport at all times. You know, as students, we drink lots of coffee. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Valeria and this is Dramatically Expatic, a channel about expat life and travel in Italy. And basically today is a very special video because it's the beginning of the school year for both universities and schools. And first of all, I want to congratulate everyone who's got accepted to the university of their dreams, hopefully, and wish you good luck with your studying. As of recently, I received lots of questions regarding student accommodation and cost of living for students in Italy, in Bologna in particular. And today I've decided to talk about money matters, costs, and everything you need to know before coming to Italy, before coming to Bologna specifically. So if you want to learn how much you're gonna spend approximately as a student at the University of Bologna living in this city, don't forget to watch this video till the end. Like, comment and subscribe and hit the bell button to get the notifications of other videos like this. And if you're ready, let's get into the video. The question number one I'm receiving all of the time is the student accommodation and how much it's gonna cost, how to find it, and everything about where to live. And yes, I can totally understand this question because this is probably one of the first things that comes to your mind when you are moving abroad, when you're moving to a new place. And well, I have to say that student accommodation in Bologna is not cheap. Bologna has recently been ranked as the third most expensive city in Italy after Rome and Milan. So unfortunately, if you want to live in a rather big city like Bologna, in a student city like Bologna, you'll have to literally pay the price for, you know, for the amenities and for all the infrastructure and for your comfort. However, you can find cheaper options, and here it goes. The average price for a room in a shared apartment in Bologna would be around 350 euros per month. You can find cheaper options, and I myself used to live in a shared apartment in a single room for a lower price. When I lived in a shared apartment as an undergraduate student, I paid 250 euros per month for my room, and it was a single room, so it means I lived alone. You have the option of finding a double room, which will definitely cost you less. Sometimes these rooms are usually more spacious, they're bigger, and usually, you know, you don't really notice your roommate, you don't really notice the difference, and that's fine if that's fine for you, if that works for you, and if you want to save some money. Anyway, you can find cheaper options when you move further from the city center. The more central you are, as it works, I guess in any other city, the more you're gonna pay. And if you want to pay less for your student accommodation, just try looking further away from the city center, even in the suburbs, if you're willing to commute, because yes, you will spend money on commuting on a train or a bus or whatever, but you will spend less on your accommodation, and it might be a good option for you. Anyway, just know that you'll have to pay something from 250 euros and up to 450 euros for a room in a shared apartment in Bologna. So this is the average price range, and you have to know this. Speaking of accommodation and speaking of commuting, of course, I had to mention the transport cost. So one bus ticket for the whole area of Bologna will cost you €1.50, but as a student you can purchase a monthly ticket or an annual ticket, and an annual ticket for university students will cost you 180 euros for the whole year. So it's quite convenient if you're moving around by bus a lot, and if you're commuting, especially if you live further from the city center. This could be really a good option for you to save some money, but also to have accessible transport at all times. Buses in Bologna are really good, there are lots of them, and you don't usually have any problem of finding a bus or a bus route wherever you need to go. I've made other videos about student life here in transport and other things, so I will leave you the links here and also down below in the description box, so check them out. And in the meantime, I wanted to talk about bikes, because in my opinion, bike is the best transport option for students in Bologna. So Bologna is, yes, quite big, but not that big that you cannot move around by bike, and actually there are lots of bike lanes and lots of people use the bikes to move around, and this is your most convenient option because you can buy a used bike and it will be cheaper. You can actually find it for as cheap as 10 euros, and you know, this could be the best option for a student who wants to save some money in Bologna. And then yeah, you just move around by bike. And another thing that you have to keep in mind when using a bike is that you need a good lock to prevent a bike thief, of course. As in any big city, you will have some downfalls. Anyway, bike could be your best option for transportation. Otherwise, you can opt for the bus. There are also bikes known as mule bikes that you can hire for 30 minutes ride, and it will cost you €1. So if you're not a regular user of bike, this might be a better option for you if you just need it occasionally. You can also have a ticket for, I guess, a month in Mobike, so you can see various options, and I will leave you the link down below in the description box for all the prices for the Mobike, so you can check them for yourself. Now the next point I wanted to talk about is of course food, because this is something we all need to survive basically. So of course you will need to spend some money on food every month. It definitely depends on what are you willing to do to save money on food and on your personal preferences when it comes to food, of course. I would say that you have to count to spend something from 7, 8 to 10 euros per day on food. If you are cooking yourself, maybe even less, to be honest, because I think that I usually spend about 50 euros per week, maybe 40 euros per week on food, but it really depends on whether I'm eating out more or whether I'm cooking more at home, and basically on the products that I buy in each separate week. So it really depends hugely, and the prices range from anything, you know, and go to anything. It's not really easy to predict how much you're gonna spend on food if you cook at home. If you want to eat at the university canteen, you can have a full-on lunch for a student price of €5.80. This will include the main dish, usually meat or fish, with a side dish of, you know, potatoes or vegetables or whatever you want, or a salad as an alternative, and the first dish like pasta or rice, water, and you can then personalize it for additional cost of a few cents, not much. And I would say that this is a good option. Of course, it might become a bit boring with time because the menu is quite varied there, but it will repeat itself, of course. But from time to time, I think it's a good option to save money and to have a meal without the need to cook it yourself. If you want to eat out, once again, the prices really vary from whatever. You can have a whole pizza margherita for 5-6 euros, or you can have another pizza, a more elaborate pizza, for up to 9-10 euros. So it really depends on where you eat. If you want to take just a slice of pizza, you can have it for something from €1.50 to €3.50, depending on the type of pizza and the place where you go. And usually students don't go out to eat as much in the restaurants, opting for aperitivo. I will talk about it in a minute. So just know that you can have these options of either cooking at home, going to the university canteen, eating somewhere for maybe slightly bigger price. So it really depends on your budget and on your needs and wants. So as I said, going out with friends usually include going out for coffee or aperitivo. Coffee in Bologna doesn't cost much. You can usually find just caffè normale, normal Italian coffee for €1.10 or cappuccino for €1.50. However, when you show your student badge and if you go to certain places that accept the student badge and give you student discount, you can have a simple coffee for as cheap as 90 cents and cappuccino for €1.10, €1.20. And I think this is really great because, you know, as students we drink lots of coffee, we basically survive on coffee. Anyway, going out with friends for coffee would cost you something around like that, and you can have a brioche, a croissant for about €1.10 in most places, I would say. If you go out in the evening, usually people go out for aperitivo. Aperitivo is having your drink with snacks on the side, and it can cost you from 5 to 10 euros usually. You can have in most places an Aperol Spritz for 5 euros with some snacks, somewhere for 6 euros with some snacks. In fancier places you can get it for 10 or 11 euros with some snacks once again, or the same goes for the glass of wine or something like that, a cocktail. So it really depends once again on your wants. I would say that most places offer really good aperitivo for 5-6 euros without the need to go to fancy places, because chances are cheaper places will have better aperitivo and better snacks actually, and sometimes also the better quality of the cocktails and the stuff. So think wisely, and also talk to your local friends, talk to your university friends, even international friends who've been here for a while, to just get some advice of where to go and where to spend the evening. But generally these are the costs of going out in Bologna. Moving on to actually studying and the price of studying in Bologna, I will cover the tuition fees at the end of this video, but before that I wanted to talk about books and language learning and all this stuff. So let's start with language learning. If you are an international student and you are moving to Bologna without decent Italian, because I would highly recommend you to learn at least some Italian before moving here for studying, unless you're moving for an international degree in English. But anyway, even then I would recommend you to learn at least the basics. Anyway, if you're a student at the University of Bologna and you need to improve your Italian, university offers you free language course. You can attend it for free, absolutely for free, for about a year, I guess, or half a year. I haven't attended it myself because I've learned Italian before studying here, before starting my bachelor's. However, I've known lots of people who did that course and were really happy about it. It's free of charge. You will go there about 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and will also give you the chance to meet other international students and start building your community, which is a great option, especially if your university course involves lots of people. Like in my case, when I studied my bachelor's degree, sometimes there were about 250 people all together in one classroom, and it was really difficult to find friends at the beginning there, because it's quite an overwhelming experience, especially for an introvert, to get inside the class and see all those people there. So opting for a language course at the university will give you this more intimate atmosphere and more options basically to meet your peers, to make friends. And of course it will improve your language and you won't have to pay for it. Another option to improve your language are the tandems. I've talked about tandems lots of times and I want to stress it once again. Tandems are for free. You can find your tandem buddy and just have a conversation with a native speaker, maybe just in Italian, maybe some part will be in Italian and another will be in your language, and you will just enjoy this time and practice Italian. And anyway, learning the language is very, very important, and I just want to say that Bologna gives you lots of opportunities to learn the language, to improve the language, and most of these opportunities are completely free. I will leave you a link up here and also down below in the description box for my another video where I talk about my experience of moving here without speaking Italian and how I learned Italian, how I became fluent in Italian. So maybe you can find some useful tips there as well. So next point is the books. The books are probably one of the priciest parts of being a student in Italy, maybe being a student anywhere, to be honest. The books don't cost here as much as they cost in the US or Canadian universities. However, you will have to pay quite a lot for your course books, for your exam books, and it really depends on each separate course. Sometimes you'll need only 3 books to prepare the exam, sometimes you'll need 5 or 7 books to prepare for the exam, so it really depends. A new book might cost something around 20-25 euros per book, especially if you buy it online, maybe on Amazon. It will cost you a little bit cheaper, especially if you have the Prime account. But you can save money by buying used books. There are several bookshops around Bologna that sell used textbooks, and usually you can find any book there, which is the best option, I think. The used book can cost you from 10 to 15 euros instead of 20-25. And yeah, this is definitely a good option to save money, especially if you have to buy lots of books. Another option is to take free books at the library. There are lots of libraries, they are very convenient, there are lots of books there, and I personally love local libraries, but you have to keep in mind that the book you might be looking for might not be available at the time, so of course there are downfalls for this too, but in general you can actually try to get those books in the library and avoid paying as much money. For me it's been like half and half, I would say. Half of my books I've been trying to buy used books when it was available, and the other half I was trying to take in the library when they were available. So the tuition fees at the university, of course the tuition fees vary depending on the course and the level. I would say that an average that you might pay for a year is about 2,700 euros, 3,000 euros for the year for both undergraduate and postgraduate levels. However, there are reductions, there are options to reduce your university fees, your university tuition based on your income, based on your family's income, on the real estate you possess, on the merit, because there are scholarships. And I have a video about it on my Patreon account, so if you're interested in learning more about tuition fees, check it out. I have the link in the description box for my Patreon account. But anyway, yes, these are the average tuition fees, and you have to pay them if you study in Bologna. So next thing I wanted to talk about is travel and just in general going out, living the cultural life of the city, because Bologna is a very vibrant city. It has very rich art scene, and the cultural life here is really good, and you'll probably enjoy it a lot, especially if you're a student here, because there is always something going on. Exhibitions, festivals, concerts, stuff like that, and there are lots of museums. And the best part of it all, most of the museums are either free of charge or have great reductions for students. I have a video about Bologna on a budget, and I will leave you a link here and in the description box. Check it out to know where you can actually enter for free, how can you save money when just going around Bologna and enjoying the vibrant cultural scene of this city. Another point is also travel, because travel from Bologna is very affordable. You can go to the cities and towns nearby, or you can even go further like Venice or Florence and other major cities around Italy, and you don't need to pay that much for them. The usual cost of a regional train ticket will be around 3-4 euros for the cities and towns nearby like Modena or Ferrara, and you might spend about 10 or 12 euros to go to Venice, for example. And you know, it's not that much if you compare with the prices in other countries or even with the plane tickets, because trains are very accessible in Italy, and there are lots of trains and they go almost everywhere, and I personally am a huge fan of this mean of travel to explore Italy. And if you want to know how to spend time in those cities without spending much money and to enjoy those cities to the fullest, check out my channel and see my other videos for travel inspiration, because I try to travel consciously and without spending much money. So if you're looking for conscious and affordable travel, check out my other travel videos. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope that it was useful for you. I really hope that you can get some inspiration for travel or just life here in Bologna. Once again, I want to wish you the best of luck if you're a prospective student here in Bologna or in Italy or wherever in the world you are, and congratulations on your acceptance. And if you're a continuing student, just good luck, and you know what this jam is all about. So if you like this video, guys, don't forget to hit the like button, comment and share it with your friends. And if you're new here, welcome once again. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get the notifications of all the upcoming videos. Thank you for being here. Have a good year ahead and enjoy your day.